that's put inside of you, a device that's stamped or ooled inside of you, imprinted, pressed inside of you. And it mentions the rich and the poor, the free and the bond. All right? Anyone that buys, if we looked at the word buy, it says to go out to the marketplace. When you buy bread, milk, meat, cereal, milk, where do you go? You go to the marketplace. And you're buying. Because eventually what they want to do is they want to do away with the whole paper money system. Then now they have a debit system. And there's certain places where they don't even accept money. They want your credit card. Like if you rent a car, you can have all the money in the world. You can have a bag full of $1,000. They ain't gonna rent you no car. They said, look, we need a credit card. Go ahead.
It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Now let's look up 666.
Yeah, the Greek word there for 666.
Strong's G 5516. Chi, Xi, stigma. Chi, Xi, stigma.
Says 666, the meaning of which is the basis of much vain speculation. That's what they say.
Anyway, you know what I want you to do?
Yeah.
Copy and paste the word stigma and Google it.
Okay.
And it's going to tell you what the word. I'm going to have the elder copy and paste the word stigma onto Google and see where it's going to take you. That's Bing. Go to Google right there. And you're going to get a whole lot of different sites, and they're going to tell you what it means, what stigma means, or stigmata, stigma. And I went through several of these definitions, and they all pretty much say the same thing.
Okay, this is from dictionary.com, the word stigma. Stigma, a mark of disgrace or infamy, a stain or reproach as on one's reputation, a mental or physical mark that is characteristic of a defect or disease, the stigmata of leprosy, a place or point on the skin that bleeds during certain mental states, a small mark, spot, stigmata, marks resembling the wounds of the crucified body of Christ, said to be supernaturally impressed on the bodies of certain persons. That's pretty much what they have.
Go back and go to the next one. Go to the next definition.
Okay.
Go to the next site.
All right.
Merriam Dictionary. See the one from Merriam Dictionary. I think they go fully into it.
Yeah, right here. We're going to look up Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Right, the word stigma, and archaic, a scar left by a hot iron, brand, a mark of shame or discredit, stain, bore the stigma of cowardice, an identifying mark or characteristic, specifically a specific diagnostic sign of a disease, bodily marks or pains resembling the wounds of the crucified Jesus. The usual the usual apical part of the pistil of a flower. Yeah, that's pretty much it on that. There's a social stigma attached to receiving welfare. The stigma of slavery remained long after it had been abolished. Latin stigmat, stigma, mark, brand from Greek, from stizine to tattoo, blot, brand, onus, slur, smirch, smudge, spot, stain, taint. That's it.
Go to the next one.
Okay, this is the free online dictionary. Stigma, a mark or token of infamy, disgrace, or reproach. A small mark, a scar or birthmark. A mark or characteristic indicative of a history of disease. A mark or spot on the skin that bleeds. Bodily marks, sores, or sensations of pain. A small mark, spot, or pore. Archaic, a mark burned into the skin of a criminal or slave. A brand.
Read that again. Read that definition again.
Now this is the
That same definition that you just read.
Yep, the free online dictionary, stigma number 8, it says, archaic, a mark burned into the skin of a criminal or slave, a brand. Pretty much it says the same thing down here. Next one.
So the word stigma, that's where you get the word stigmata. There was a movie that came out called Stigmata, and this woman had got marks, the same marks that the Messiah got when they put those spikes in him. So the word stigmata or stigma, the last 603 the 6 is stigmata. The word 6 actually means to cut. Stigmata means to cut in. So when you put all these words together and you go to the Greek and you go to the definitions, you can see that it's not talking about Christianity or an embargo. So he knows that he's teaching lies because he was told to teach those lies. All right? You got something?
Yeah, this is Galatians chapter 6, verse 17. From henceforth let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body the marks of the Lord Yahushai. Now, I'm not sure if the word there is stigmata or stigma in the blue letter Bible, but it goes into it, and it explains what those marks are. Which goes back to the word stigma. Galatians 6 and 17. I read it again. It says, from henceforth let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body the marks of the Lord Yahushai.
Okay, I'm going to pass it to the elder.
Okay, Galatians 6 and 17. Yep. The word there for marks.
Strong's G 4742, stigma. Stigma.
Again, a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master, or commander branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods. And down here, a mark pricked or branded upon the body.
So like I said, when you put all these words together in Revelation the 13th chapter, the 15th verse on down to the end, to the 18th verse, what words come up? The word stigmata, the word charagma, all right, which is something that is stuck in you. And the last 6 of the 3 6s is the word stigma, which the elder just read. It's something that is stuck, put in the body. So for this asshole to teach anything different, that simply means that he sold out. So with that, we got anybody have any closing statements at all? So with that, we're going to say shalom.